the first thing I notice about people who do well in business is that they have a prevailing purpose. There's a purpose which is higher than the just trying to do something. You know, he was talking about why should we go and be importing some things when we can produce it here. Your foray into business must mean more than simply wanting to make money. I am not successful in media because I just want to make money. There's a purpose behind that. People say, you've been on radio for 18, 19 years. Every day you are shouting. Why? There's a purpose beyond just winning awards. Most successful people, there's something deeper. So I don't know whether you're already in business, but there must be something much deeper than just making money. Now, in fact, one of my mentors says, if you love people, you will like money. Because money can help you make a difference. But if you just get the money without having a purpose, you waste it. They gave him 750,000. At the time, he didn't need it. He was importing everything. If you give him 750,000, I'm sure he needs more than 750,000. Because when the purpose is large, you can do more. Do you get what I'm saying? And now that you are young, have a purpose. And your purpose must not just be to be on the front page of a newspaper or to get money so you can marry another wife. Though that's not why God is giving you. I'm a Christian, so I'm speaking to you from a kingdom perspective. You must be kingdom oriented. Am I making sense? So the media I'm doing, I see it as an assignment God has given me because media will help change the minds of Africa's youth. So I'm not doing radio because I want to bring two honorables to come and argue, and after that I'll collect 100 CDs from them and put my picture on Facebook. It is media that will change the minds of our young people. And I have had that purpose for over 20 years. So I'm successful because I have a purpose. And when you pray to God and say, God, this is what you've given me to do. Help me succeed. So now this is a prayer. A lot of people go to God and say, Charlie, God, bless me. If I get money, I'll give you some. But, you know, if he gets 100, you give God 10. If he gets 1,000, you give God 100. But when he gets 1 million, Charlie, 100,000 is too much. Sorry in the crowd, you know. So you just, you know, let me maintain. You don't understand? And you see, God is, you can't be wiser than God, you know. And I'm now understanding why God gave me success in media. So you need a definite purpose. Does this make sense? You need a definite, and your purpose predates you. Your purpose is not, I just want to do it. God, he said to Jeremiah, before I formed you, I knew you. So God has a purpose for you. Now, if God can have a purpose for a person, why won't he have a purpose for a business? Why won't he have a purpose for a country? So even I think a lot of countries are struggling because we don't know our purpose. It's very important. You are not going into leadership because you just want posts. It's because you want to make a difference. Am I making sense? So you need purpose. Am I going back or going forward? Good. Now, your purpose exists before you were born. When you understand your purpose, it means that you have vision. Vision is when you understand your assignment. Everybody needs vision. Without vision, the people perish. Nobody sitting in front of you achieve anything without a vision. But that vision is based on knowing what the purpose is. And then when you pursue the purpose, you are in ministry. So even though I'm not a pastor, I am in ministry. He is in ministry. We are all in ministry. Ministry is service. Am I making sense? Saka is into the housing service. He's serving people with houses. He's building houses for people. Ethel is helping people to grow their business. It's ministry. So you must approach what you are doing from a ministry. You are here to serve. That's why God will bless you. Not because you just want 20-story buildings. How many of them can you be buried in? Am I making sense? So you must be kingdom oriented. It's very important. God has a kingdom. And we all can't do the same thing. Some can open stores, some can build houses, some can build radio stations. But it's all business. The grace I have in media, I won't have it in housing. I won't say, Charlie, Saka is my mate. He went to Motown. I got first class. I don't know whether I got first class. How can he build a house? Well, that's not how the thing works. God has given everybody his area. So you must know your area. My area is media. Even if you bury me and I wake up, it's media I'll do. I can't do store. No, I don't have the anointing. Shabba has the anointing for store. The only entrepreneurship I've done is in media. A few of my friends came together. We bought airtime and we did some programs on another station. That was when I was in radio. We started doing TV. We formed the company. But my grace in entrepreneurship has to do with media. Because before I was born, it is media God gave me. Do you understand? So what did God give you? That's what to help you go through difficult times. If you don't know what God gave you, or you don't know what you were made to do, Ghana will like copying too much. Somebody's doing a communication center, I want to do the same thing. No. That's the first point. So you must have what I call prevailing purpose. Right? This is what unifies everybody who's successful. A purpose which is much deeper than simply acquiring wealth. All right? The second thing we notice is that, why do I keep going back? People who are successful, they are people-oriented. Your most appreciable asset as a businessman is people. There are people I take from Legon for national service. Right now, they are hosting programs on TV. When I took him, he didn't know anything. In 5 years' time, he's somebody the whole nation is listening to. I've added value to the person. So whatever business you are doing, you must understand how God sees people. God didn't come to save trees. He came to save human beings. He sent his only son, a person. So if you're in business for the right purpose, you will not use people. So when you are praying for God to help you in your business, pray for God to give you people to work with. It's not you need people before capital. People. You can be a great person. If your secretary is not correct, it can destroy your home business. One of the journalists I respect, he was accused of plagiarism because one of his editorials, his editorial team went to copy somebody's work and put it on the screen. And this is in the Western world. It almost destroyed his business. So if you are rising in your area, all your secretaries, they are still taking trotro. They are still living in chamber and hall. You are the only person making the money. Every time you and your wife is traveling abroad. One day you come back, they've left you. So we focus on people. We need people to work with. People shouldn't work for you. They should work with you. They must have a stake in the business. Not necessarily shares, but they must know that we are building something. And you must know this now. Am I making sense? Very important. So, and the third thing, your business must make people's lives better. So, if you have the right purpose, I'm doing media. I'm not doing media because I want to build 1,000 radio stations. I want to improve people's lives. So if you listen to me with your wife on your way to work, you will learn something. So I put human beings at the center of my business. No matter what you do, whether you're a teacher, you're a plumber, you're a mason, if people are important to you, that's how you secure God's blessings. Even the guy doing the T-row is solving people's problems. Am I making sense? So you must be people-focused because God likes people. He loves people. So don't do business and use people. Grow people. Hello? And one of the greatest legacies you can leave is how many people came out of you. How many people can replicate your model? That's the difference between success and significance. He mentioned the word legacy. That's legacy. Abedipele's legacy is the 3 boys he gave us. Not all the skills. He was very skillful. By his time is finished. Now his son is playing. Can you imagine? That's his legacy. There are some who played with him. We don't know what they've left. Abedi has 3 boys who play. 2 of them and the national team. So if nobody can come out of the matrix you do, if you are the only star in the company, you are not doing something right. Am I making sense? Jesus was very interested in people. He didn't leave a house. He left 12 men. And those 12 men, what they started, we are still following it today. He left 12 men. When the 12 men met in the upper room, they were 120. Most of the mega churches have more members than Jesus. But his kingdom will know no end. So you must understand the critical nature of people. Am I making sense? Now, because the second speaker spoke a lot about money and capital. Now, this feel I'm giving you, I was moderating a panel last week. A panel of, they were talking about business. And in moderating the panel, I picked 4 points from the panel. They were talking about how to support small growing businesses. And as a moderator, I listened to all of them. There were guys from Nigeria, there was a guy from the US, a couple of guys from Ghana. And some of the points I've brought on this slide. Right? So, the third, I think it's not a go. Patient capital, very important. Patient capital. I think they spoke about it. On that panel, there was somebody from a bank and somebody from venture capital. Right? A lot of people say we don't have access to credit in Ghana. As he said, you don't need a bank loan yet. First, put your own money in the business. Most of the people who are successful, they started with their own money. Put skin in the game. One wise man said, great businesses have 3 F's that support them. Friends, family, and fools. They believe in you at the beginning of the business. So a bank is not, I'm sure you know this, you are training in this area. So it's not about money. It's about the right kind of money. Because on that panel, there were 2 kinds of money. For most small businesses, that one type of money will destroy them. Do you follow me? Second thing we notice in Ghana, if you go to the banks, most people prefer loans to equity. It's not necessarily the best. In Western world, a lot of people believe in equity. Somebody brings money to get a stake in your business. Ghana, we are too infa. Everybody wants to do. Well, in fact, when you go to Registrar General's department, over 90% of our businesses are sole proprietorships. We don't like partnership. We don't want to share. We want to die in our socks. It's not a good thing. A lot of the people who do well here, the Lebanese, the Syrians, and all these people, they know how to share among themselves. So let's learn that. Do you understand? So that's the next point. Partnerships. We need partnerships. And now, a partnership doesn't mean go and give your business to somebody. What you need to do is to get complementary skills. If you read Amoabin's book, his business partner wasn't like him. But there are disciplines you don't have that you need in a partner. Most of our companies don't do well because we don't understand sharing. Now, if you are going to change the narrative, at some point you must enter a partnership. Not necessarily because it's just fashionable to do, but two are better than one. And sometimes what you are looking out for is so I'll give you a good example. There are people you must have the same vision, but their skills must be complementary. Hello? So in looking for a partner, I'm not saying start as a partnership. I'm saying it will get to a point where you will need somebody to come on board. Sometimes it takes that partnership to move to the next level. You need to look for complementary skills. Somebody's complementary skills doesn't mean the person is the same as you. Sameness creates comfort, but difference creates reward. Sameness creates comfort, but difference creates reward. So maybe you are good with a certain class. Somebody's good with another thing. Then you bring the skills together. You need to pray about that too. But at some point in your business, now partnership is not just a business partnership. You can partner to do something. One of my graces I have in media is to bring businesses together. Because I interview a lot of people, people come to me and say, I want to do this. Who can I do it with? So maybe somebody has a football team and he wants investors. God has given me that grace. So I can say, Charlie, I've met this guy. I think he's a good guy. And when I listen to you and I listen to this guy, I bring people together. And in the little experience I have, I noticed that one has something the other needs. That also has something the other needs. It works all the time. So I've told a lot of my friends that as you start making your millions, if you forget me, God will punish you. Because I have joined, even this guy, two weeks ago I called him, but he didn't pick. A friend of mine who runs a company in some part of the world, they have over 6,000 people who were ready to buy houses. And they said, Charlie, recommend a guy who does real estate to address them about the real estate industry in Ghana. The first person I talked about was this Motown guy. But the number wasn't good. I think he was in the country. I called her like 3 times. She didn't go. So I called a pre-second. You know him. So another guy. And I got through to his secretary. And they took that opportunity. I'm sure they will sell like 50 houses. Do you get my point? So I understand. What I'm saying is that you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. So you need to understand. I mean, Google is the world's biggest company. Right? There are 3 guys who started Google. Apple, there were 2 guys who started Apple. Even Facebook, there were guys who started it with him. So this one man, when you play draft, one man no chop. What's one man no chop as here? Do you know what one man no chop means? You are not a cool baller, eh? If you want to test if somebody is a cool baller, ask him, do you know what kwakwa is? Unim kwakwa. So unim kwakwa onye cool baller. I had a friend who were talking about playing spy, and I said kule, kalu, onim kule, onim kalu. Dadaba, butter bread, dadaba. So one man no chop. Very important. She doesn't know kwakwa. She doesn't know kule, kalu. She calls it playing cards. Onim spa. So can 2 work together except they agree? The thing I'll say about partnership is that be very careful. Now, there's a book written by a guy. He calls Business at the Speed of Trust. Trust is the currency of business. Trust is the currency of business. So I'm not saying just go and meet anybody and join them. If you are trustworthy, you will make great business. If people can trust you, they will give. So being trustworthy is being credible and being honest. Now, if I trust somebody, contracts are reduced. Lawyers have a lot of money because human beings are not honest. So everybody has to secure themselves. So at some point, you have to be very clear what the partnership is about. So I'm not saying go and do business with your friend, right? Get the right agreements. There must be exit clauses and all of that. But you must know what you lack if you are going to go to the next level. Am I making sense to you? So I was talking about purpose. Purpose is very critical. Then I was talking about patient capital. Because she spoke about money, I won't elaborate there. I've spoken also about having people, being people-oriented. Don't use people and dump them. Because you are going to make a lot of money. You must have a track record of people you've helped. Martin, he said he worked with me. Imagine when Martin was working with me, I was just harassing him. Where is Martin? He's gone. I'm sure I was a good boss. So even though he doesn't work with me, he's saying here that my program is the best. I hope they don't sack him when he goes back to his company. But you must have people who have gone through you, who you can show that this guy, I learned this from him. Because wealth is not just money. Wealth is not a money word. Wealth is a supply word. Wealth is not a money word. If I need something and I can call somebody in the Bank of Ghana or Kolebu and they'll do it for me in 2 minutes, I may not need $1 million to do it. So wealth is not a money word. Wealth is a supply word. Because if you have $1 million and you are locked in a cage, it won't help you do anything. Am I making sense? I'm not saying don't make money. But what makes money valuable is currency. It can be changed quickly. But if you have credibility and you have honesty, you are very wealthy. Because wealth is a supply word. It's not a money word. Think about it. It's supply. If you need it and you can convert it to what you need, it's currency. Hello? Let's end with 2 more. Today everybody has focused. I don't want to talk too much. This is important. Portals. I'm talking about online. The kind of business we have, where we are now. One of the things I do is I talk to business owners about how to. A lot of people want to come on air. And I say, don't come on air. You are too fresh. Get your house in order. I don't need to come on air. But get your back end in order. Saba has spoken about getting your documents in order. You need an online store. Whatever business you are doing, you need an online presence. And it's not Facebook necessarily. Facebook is not your address. Facebook is the signboard to your house. You can't do all your business on Facebook. What if Steve Jobs says, what's his name? Zuckerberg says, I'm going to charge £20 per page. Then your business is gone. So social media is the signboard to your location. You need a good website. A good website that possibly has an online store. I don't know whatever you are selling, whether clothes or whatever. Because now people are doing delivery. My wife, she doesn't go to, she can just sit down, buy something. I was going home yesterday. Somebody brought some clothes to me that I should go and give to my wife. And she paid by Momo. And she didn't go to the shop. She bought it online. So whatever you are doing, you need a portal. I went to Saka Homes. They have 2 strands. The property is listed. The price is there. You can start making. In fact, some of them have artificial intelligence. So when you go on the website, so hello, how can I help you? My name is Ikea. Hey, how do you know my name? Then we start talking. So build your online presence. I call it portal presence. Before you go to social media and before you come to traditional media. In fact, premature exposure in media can destroy your business. Make sure your tax is in order. Make sure you have a proven supply chain before you start advertising. Otherwise, wrong people will come and harass you. Some people, when I put them on air, we don't hear of them again because the exposure was too early. So build your back end. Am I making sense? But if you come here next and you don't have a website for your business, it means you are not really serious. Because your website, I mean, imagine, how much does it cost to build a website? You need something for people to know who you are. In addition to where your shop is in Kokomlemle. And if you look at, there are people in my office who buy things from China because it's online. They don't go to Kantamanto again. And somebody brings on a motorbike to the office. So that's where business is going. So maybe you can do a workshop on how to create an online presence, how to make yourself findable, how to use the mix of social media to drive traffic. Real traffic is a very important skill. 20 years ago, you didn't need that. Now, without it, you will not survive. Am I making sense? So whether you are selling carrot or houses, you need to understand how the algorithm is. Do you know what an algorithm is? You don't need to learn to code yourself, but you must understand how YouTube, for example, how does YouTube decide which video you are looking for? You can say, I'm looking for houses in Ghana. How come somebody's house will come, this guy's house will not come? Some of it is paid for, but some of it is also just understanding the length of video to use, the keywords to put in there, and the kind of artwork to put in front of it. It's a whole industry. Am I making sense? And we have people who can help you do it. So maybe if you are here and you don't know how to do it, I have guys. They will charge you some small money and they'll help you jet. One of them is the Jude, is at the back. Jude, give them a wave. It's a whole area of business. And you know the funny thing? Most of this they don't teach in university. As I'm sitting here, I'm learning something with my team. They are teaching us data visualization and business intelligence. So you take data, you get insight out of it, and you visualize it. I did economics. I got a first class from Legon. I went to UK. I don't know. Even though me on paper certificate, I don't know the thing. So I've told myself that I don't need degrees, and I want to know how to do the thing. So when elections come, I want to be able to code. I want to be able to do the model myself. Do you understand? I want to understand the thing. In Ghana, we like certificate too much. Me, I want to know the thing. So even if I don't have the certificate, I can explain it. So if you ask me between NDC and MPP, who is going to win here, I can create a model to show you based on, not that I'm going to pay 2 million to some American to do it for me. Do you understand? So you must know the thing. And for me, these are the things which are called to my business. I'm a journalist. I'm a dealer in insight and information. So I must know it. So that's the portal. So you need to have a workshop on online business because it's going to change a lot of things. All right? And then the final thing, policy. As for this one, somebody asked a question last week. Where do you end your lobbying as a business person? I'm not saying go and start doing politics, but this group, there are other groups you must link up with. So there are some guys called Social Enterprise Ghana. Okay? There are lots of organizations that are coming together to form a policy for social enterprise and small business. We need a small business policy in Ghana. I always tell people that government's job is not to create a business, but they are supposed to create an environment. And I always use this example. We've had JIDA, we've had SADA, we've had NED, we've had NYA, we've had SUBA. When you take all those things, and you call, how many business people have they raised? Versus, take something like MTN Momo agent. There are over 400,000 agents. Did they come out of JIDA or anything? So this government sharing money is not business. Business is organic, it's private sector. Do you understand? So what government does is create a policy environment so that MTN can create 400,000 Momo agents. Not assemble 400,000 people and give each of them 1,000 cities and say we are creating entrepreneurs. It doesn't work like that. If they give you the money, you can take it. But I'm not sure that's the route to becoming a proper businessman. Business is very organic. In my little experience, I did a study on the government entrepreneurship programs. Most of them just waste our money. They assemble people from the same party or friends. They do some 2x4 training. They give each of them 5,000 cities. Most of them don't pay. And because some of them don't even understand how business is, by the time they even get the money, they've wasted the money. So business is organic. So our job is to get the right policy. Tax policy. First 5 years, you shouldn't pay tax. Even if you pay tax, it will be very simple taxes. The policy environment to support you to acquire the right type of financing. Interest rates in Ghana are too high. They don't make sense. Do you get my point? Now, don't live your life and say, I don't like politics, so I don't read anything, I don't care about anything. You don't need to go and put your face on Facebook and insult somebody. But come together with other groups so you can lobby for sensible policy, irrespective of which party is in power. Because no matter how good you are, a foolish politician can destroy your life. And it's easier to destroy than to build. So, and because our politics is sometimes emotionally driven, some of the policies don't help us. So you can do all these things. Somebody can bring a policy that will destroy your business. So get interested in your country. Don't be a citizen who is only interested in you, your house, your family, your fufu, and forget everything. No, don't do that. The last one, I didn't put it here. You need God's presence. God is very important in life. You cannot achieve anything at a certain level without the Spirit's involvement. I haven't reached here because I'm eloquent. It's God's grace. So, and you see, there are certain things God can show you in prayer that a business school will not give you. Some of my best programs I did, it didn't come out of editorial meeting. You wake up after your morning prayer, the thing drops, and you work on it, and it's like, Charlie, where did you get this from? It's the same in business. Truly successful business people will tell you that some of the best ideas they got Maybe he was even doing quiet time or he was about to sleep and the thing came. And when the thing comes, don't sleep, wake up and write it down. When God tells you something, so let me wake up, you will forget it. So me, when I get the thing, sometimes I even record it on my phone. It's very important. If you take this phone, you're taking something from me. Am I making sense to you? So you need purpose. You need to be focused on people. You need to have the right kind of capital. You need the right kind of partnership. Then you need the right presence online. You need the right policy environment. You need God's presence. Those are my concluding thoughts. Thank you very much.